What if the biggest star in a major musical wasn't who you thought it was? What if a voice, just a voice, shattered months of hype, rewrote casting expectations, and sparked a mystery the internet can't stop talking about? Welcome to the theatrical storm that no one saw coming, but no one can look away from. The theater world was turned upside down this week when a mere 15-second rehearsal clip exploded across social media like wildfire. Set against a backdrop of moody stage lighting and quiet anticipation, a hauntingly beautiful voice broke the silence, singing the legendary line, "Don't cry for me, Argentina." But this wasn't just another promotional tease. It became an internet earthquake. The voice echoing through the empty theater didn't sound like Rachel Zegler, the widely publicized and officially announced lead of the upcoming Evita revival. Instead, it sparked instant confusion, wild speculation, and an online frenzy. Who was singing? And why hadn't the production team said anything? Within hours, TikTok and Twitter were flooded with slowed-down clips, voice analyses, and side-by-side comparisons. The consensus among online sleuths quickly crystallized. The voice didn't belong to Zegler. It belonged to someone else entirely. Most fingers pointed toward Camila Delgado, a lesser-known Argentine theater performer with a classical opera background and decades of experience on local stages. Though she's far from a household name, her voice, emotional, raw, and utterly commanding, seemed to embody the spirit of Eva Perón in a way that felt undeniably real. For many, those fleeting 15 seconds weren't just a vocal performance. It was a transformation. Camila didn't perform Eva, she became her. Then came something even more dramatic than the clip itself. Absolute silence. Not a word from the Evita production team. No clarification from Rachel Zegler. No comment from Camila Delgado. No press release, no denial. Just an eerie, deafening quiet that only fueled the fire. As speculation continues to spiral, one question remains on everyone's lips. Is the real star of Evita being hidden in plain sight? But when official voices go quiet, the internet doesn't. In fact, it gets louder. Much louder. And in this case, the silence from the Evita camp didn't calm the storm. It became the fuel that fed the fire. And in that deafening silence, the rumors didn't fade, they exploded. Every detail became a clue. Every silence a statement. Fans were quick to point out something peculiar. Rachel Zegler had suddenly wiped multiple Evita-related posts from her social media accounts, almost as if she was scrubbing away any connection to the role. At the same time, what appeared to be leaked rehearsal call sheets began circulating online, and eagle-eyed fans noticed a subtle but telling detail: the initials CD replacing RZ. The theater community quickly jumped to the conclusion that CD was short for Camila Delgado. Then came the moment that seemed to seal it all. In that now viral rehearsal clip, just as the camera pans slightly, a voice from off-screen clearly says, "Cami, go again from the top." That brief, almost throwaway line was all it took. For many, it was the smoking gun. A quiet but seismic casting change had taken place behind closed doors, and fans had caught it in real time. As the internet scrambled for answers, the mystery singer's name, Camila Delgado, started trending globally. Fan pages, Twitter threads, and YouTube reaction videos popped up overnight. Praise poured in from every corner of the internet. Comments like, "She doesn't play Eva, she is Eva," and "Now this is the voice of a revolution," lit up the timeline. One powerful performance had done what polished marketing and big-name casting couldn't. It stirred something real. While no one denied Rachel Zegler's vocal talent or star power, comparisons were inevitable. Many noted that her earlier teasers, while technically sound, lacked the emotional gravitas and cultural nuance required to portray such a deeply complex and historically significant Latin American icon. Eva Perón isn't just a character. She's a symbol, a legend, and a national memory. Camila Delgado, with her Argentine roots and operatic soul, brought an authenticity and raw emotion that left audiences not just impressed, but genuinely moved. And here's where the story gets even more layered. This isn't Zegler's first run-in with controversy. During her press tour for Snow White, she faced significant backlash after making remarks that many interpreted as dismissive of the original 1937 Disney classic. Critics accused her of lacking respect for the film's legacy, while others saw her statements as part of a broader trend of Hollywood rewriting cherished stories. That backlash still lingers, and for some, it's hard not to see echoes of it now in the Evita saga. Sometimes, history doesn't just repeat itself, it roars back with a vengeance. And in the case of Rachel Zegler, what began as a silent retreat from one role may now be echoing in another, louder and more controversially than ever before. After the Snow White backlash, Disney quietly pulled Zegler from much of the film's promotional spotlight without offering a public explanation. No statements, no damage control, just a slow fade. Now, with Evita, it appears the same script is playing out. Another major role, another storm of public criticism, and another wave of pointed silence from everyone involved. The similarities are striking, almost eerie, and they've sparked growing speculation. Is Rachel Zegler's star power dimming under the weight of unmet expectations? If the rumors hold true and Camila Delgado has indeed taken over the role of Eva Perón, then what we're witnessing isn't just a casting change. It's a Cinderella story in real time. Camila, a relative unknown outside of Argentina's theater scene, may have just staged the ultimate breakthrough. No A-list reputation, no red carpet buzz, just raw, visceral talent that pierced through the noise and landed center stage. Early industry whispers from those lucky enough to catch closed previews describe her performance with words like breathtaking, earth-shattering, and unforgettable. In a world obsessed with celebrity names and social media metrics, here is a woman who earned her moment the old-fashioned way, by delivering something that no algorithm or marketing team could replicate: truth. And the most captivating part? None of this was supposed to be public. There were no glossy trailers or official cast swaps. It all came to light because of a leaked 15-second rehearsal clip, an offhand remark caught on tape, and a passionate fanbase unwilling to ignore what they heard. What began as a social media mystery has evolved into one of the boldest and most talked-about casting shakeups in modern theater history. But beyond the headlines and hashtags, this saga points to something much bigger. This isn't just about one actress being swapped for another. It's about a shift in what audiences value. Fans are no longer impressed by star billing alone. They want authenticity, connection, and performances that feel real, especially when portraying historical and cultural figures as monumental as Eva Perón. More and more, the public is holding storytellers accountable, demanding not just entertainment, but representation that resonates. Audiences today aren't just watching performances, they're feeling them. They crave authenticity, the kind that lingers long after the curtain falls. It's no longer enough for a performer to simply play a role. They must embody it, heart and soul. They want to see someone who doesn't just sing the words, but understands the weight behind them. Someone who brings cultural depth, lived experience, and emotional truth to the stage. And in Camila Delgado, many believe they've found just that. A performer whose very presence speaks volumes before she ever utters a note. If Delgado is indeed stepping into Eva Perón's iconic shoes, this could mark a defining moment in how casting is approached, especially in stories steeped in heritage and history. It might just signal a long-overdue shift where raw talent, emotional resonance, and cultural authenticity matter more than red carpet appeal or Instagram followers. It would be a message to the industry that the right person for the role is not always the most famous one, but the one who can breathe life into it in a way no one else can. As of now, no official statements have been made. No press releases, no confirmations, no denials. But in an era where silence is dissected as deeply as dialogue, the lack of response speaks volumes. And perhaps, just perhaps, that's part of the magic. Maybe this wasn't a carefully plotted PR campaign or a scheduled rollout. Maybe it was something real, something that slipped through the cracks of control and found its way to the people. Raw, unfiltered, and unforgettable. And in the end, this tale of a hidden voice and an accidental revelation might become just as legendary as Evita itself. Not just because of what was sung, but because of what it meant, who it came from, and how, for a brief, shining moment, the truth couldn't be silenced.